So something that every guy dreads is being classified as a nice guy, whether that's in the form of being a single guy who's attracted to a woman and he hears those words, you know what, John, you're such a nice guy, but I just don't feel that way about you. Or a guy who's in a relationship or married might hear those dreaded words, I'm just not in love with you anymore, or I'm no longer attracted to you. So whatever the case is, whether you've heard of this or experienced it, like I have in the past and many of you have, it's probably why you're here, to overcome and break through the nice guy syndrome in relationships. Oh, and real quick, welcome back. If you're a subscriber, good to see you. And if you're new here, welcome. Hey, I'm David, the curator of this channel and creator. And make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell if you want to hear about new videos right when they come out. So a nice guy is someone who, for instance, in romantic relationship with his wife or his girlfriend, lets her wear the pants, that old phrase, right? Lets her make all the decisions. Doesn't want to make decisions in case it might upset her or something she doesn't want to do. Even when she asks him, hey, what do you want to do for dinner, honey? He turns back to her and says, I don't know. What do you want to do for dinner? Endlessly frustrating for women. Kills attraction, okay? And so that's in the romantic context. In terms of, say, friends and work and family, he's the guy that will often do anything for anybody, whatever is asked of him. Doesn't really have a boundary around this. And inside, he'll start to feel really resentful because he feels no one does him favors. Even though people may offer it up, he'll say, nope, nope. You know, they should know, they should keep pushing, or they should do it anyway, maybe he'll think. Or he doesn't know how to ask and definitely doesn't know how to receive favors, support, or help. Another characteristic is a guy will avoid conflict almost at all costs. Even when things are really bad or conflicts are brought up to them, they will try to avoid it or excuse their way out of it, or maybe overly apologize and not face it head on directly in a way that is actually empowering for them and everyone around them. He'll also simply just let people walk all over him so he doesn't upset the status quo around him. And he's the guy whose life looks good on paper, like he's got it together. He has the house, he has the car, he may have the girlfriend or wife. Everything's under control, but on the inside, he feels ready to explode. And often he can blow up his life, self-sabotage, because things aren't okay, because he's been people-pleasing all this time, letting people walk all over him and exhibiting all of this nice guy behavior. And actually the perfect movie that comes to mind right now is Fight Club. Ed Norton's character is the quintessential nice guy. Now, of course, he goes way to the extreme to being the bad boy and, you know, meets Tyler Durden, who's just in his head, to the far extreme. And I think he balances out a little bit at the end, but it goes pretty crazy. Not that I recommend that, but it is a perfect example of somebody who really struggles with that nice guy life. Everything looks together, perfect. And inside, he's just ready to explode. And he does, though in a very unhealthy way. So the term nice guy syndrome was coined by Dr. Robert Glover. He wrote the book No More Mr. Nice Guy. Maybe you've heard of it. And he's a buddy of mine. I actually used to teach a course called Authentic Social Influence through his TPI University, a course that I created. And we ran it together, meaning, you know, he helped facilitate it and I coached it and ran it. He helped promote it, so did I. A great time back in 2014, 2016 era. I ran that about 8 or 9 times. And I really enjoyed helping guys through nice guy behavior, especially in terms of platonic relationships, right? Dr. Glover helps on the men's dating side. And what I did is come in on the platonic side, meaning professionally at work or in business, helping them with nice guy behaviors and breaking through those in that arena. And also, you know, friends, family, social circle type of thing. What Dr. Glover uncovered is that nice guys often aren't that nice underneath. They really have these ulterior motives and can be very passive aggressive and manipulative. And it leads to unhealthy things for, you know, unhealthy relationships for them. By the way, if you haven't seen already, I have an interview with Dr. Glover on positive emotional tension, which helps on the dating side of things. Really great stuff. Invite you to go check it out on the channel. And so one major problem, one major danger here that a lot of guys run into with nice guy syndrome is a lack of respect from people, and especially women, right? Trying to please her, kiss her butt, buy her affections. These types of behaviors will lead to a woman maybe, you know, treating you very friendly and very politely, but not actually respecting you as a man. And this basically kills attraction, which is another problem here that arises. Without that kind of respect, she really can't be attracted to you, or attraction is hot and cold and fleeting. A lot of guys run into that. I've run into it. A lot of guys I've coached, both in the social arena, professional arena, and in the dating arena too. Another issue that comes up is lack of trust. Okay, so if a woman can't trust you, she can't feel that true deep connection with you. And again, I want to put this with a grain of salt. Like, women absolutely have their responsibility too, but we're talking about that masculine feminine dynamic in relationships. She needs to be able to feel that she can trust and surrender. And that creates a much deeper bond and connection and a lot of intimacy. And if she can't trust you to do what you say you're going to do, to have a spine, I've often called it in working with guys, when they're being too wishy-washy or wavy, there's all kinds of rhetoric around women testing. Sometimes that's true. A lot of times it is. Sometimes it's not true that they're testing. But having that spine and the ability to, stand up for yourself, have boundaries when needed to. It's not about being aggressive necessarily, not really. It's not about, I'm going to put my foot down. It's about, doing what you want to do, leading your way as the man, which she wants to feel that energy. Women still generally want to feel that if they're feminine women, even if they're masculine in their energy in their career, or, amongst their friends or something, they're a little bit, more in charge type of energy. Directed energy is often how masculine can be looked at. She still generally wants to feel that in the polarity of masculine and feminine. Now, of course, all this can lead to her not ever being attracted to you sexually, romantically, so that never happening, or the relationship falls apart. Now, this isn't a binary thing, meaning on or off necessarily, right? What I've noticed with myself and women and helping coach guys around dating issues as well is that there's like an amount of attraction that happens almost immediately with a woman that you meet. And you can have a lot of initial attraction if you have a good vibe and you have your style taken care of and your hygiene, you're trying to keep in good shape, some factors. Certainly your personality, your social skills, all these things add up. A lot of times guys get way too hung on the looks thing, and sometimes guys get way too hung on the game thing and their skills, right? It's a combination of everything. If you have a lot of attraction coming in, that can actually go really, really quickly from a woman. It's almost as if you start with points and they're looking for reasons to take points off. And this is very reproductive, biologically oriented from what I've uncovered. That can also happen in a relationship that you have, it can happen very quickly, but it can happen very slowly over time, where if these nice guy behaviors are happening, that attraction goes down, sometimes years, decades later even. I talked with so many guys on the phone, whether they became clients or not in my dating coaching business, telling me that they became roommates with their wife. They weren't attracted to each other anymore both ways. Sometimes it was, him not being attracted to her or the other way around, all kinds of scenarios like that. Now for the good news, right? A lot of stuff coming at you here is that so much of this is fixable, if not almost all of it. I've helped guys that, say, had a woman around in the wings for years, that she was hot and cold. There were certain parts of how he was and how he behaved that she was attracted to, and other ways that she wasn't. And once we started coaching around a few things very quickly, it's almost like she was waiting in the wings for him to be more of who he was, or be a more integrated man very quickly. And it ended up them dating for a while, and then he sort of let her go because he realized, wow, once he raised his standards of who he was, he realized that maybe she wasn't as good of a fit as he had originally thought, even though he was really attracted to a really attractive woman, right? If you're in a relationship, good news too, there's so much that can be fixed. And generally what can be fixed, it's all kind of the same. Guys are, chasing too much. They're trying to please their woman too much, especially if she's pulling away or not responding well, or getting upset. And a lot of it due to not feeling the connection and attraction with her man, with her lover, with her husband, right? Whatever role that you're in. So some key takeaways here: stop putting her on the pedestal, right? Level the playing field. One of the easiest ways to be in her league is not to be out of her league, okay? You put yourself out of the league mentally and think she's, so beautiful and the most beautiful thing in the world. Yeah, she is beautiful, right? You are attracted to her. There's so many qualities about her that you like and admire. But think about it this way. Really beautiful women celebrities are great examples. Why do celebrities not often date people that aren't celebrities as well? Well, that's because they can relate to their mentality. People that are fans are down this level and they go, oh my gosh, it's so and so, and oh, it's so good to see you, right? All that. They don't want to be around that. They want to be a normal person, somebody who treats them like a normal person. And when this power dynamic gets shifted in the wrong way and all this nice guy stuff comes out and the chasing and the pedestalizing, it shifts the power dynamic into a really unhealthy thing that she doesn't want either. Sure, she'll take advantage of it subconsciously a lot of the time, sometimes consciously, right? Women have their responsible roles too. But ultimately, she doesn't want to be with a guy like that. And you wouldn't want to be with a woman like that. We've probably, a lot of us had experiences of a girl or a woman who got really needy and creepy with you. You're not attracted to that. It's like she's putting you up here and, and she's down here, not in the same league. Certainly, having that spine, meaning having standards. It doesn't mean being aggressive or a jerk or rude. Okay. It's actually okay to be a nice person. This nice guy thing, a lot of times I would talk about it in terms of being the good guy, not the bad boy, not the nice guy, but the good guy in the middle who has some of that edge of the bad boy, is generally a good and nice person, of course, absolutely morally and ethically good and nice, but not a pushover, right? Also knows how to be warm and friendly and how to interact with people, and working on social skills always helps, right? There's always an effect that when she sees you knowing how to handle social situations, that's a very attractive thing, okay? Social skills in and of themselves aren't the entire thing, right? These other things we're talking about have to go along with it as well for her to be attracted and feel that deeper connection with you and trust you. So one last major thing I want to talk about that can help you out if you're struggling with this is creating a sense of autonomy, being a leader in your own life. And what I mean by that is a lot of times nice guys will conform or cohere to the group or cohere to whatever she wants for fear of offending her, or upsetting her, when he needs to be doing the opposite. And this will happen in relationships and friendships with, male friends as well, where there's one guy or two guys that are always planning and inviting you along, and they're running the show. And you're just going along with it because they're good people and they're fun, and maybe you have great conversations and a strong friendship. But you never are making your own plans and then inviting them along. And I've definitely coached guys through this, and it's been hugely empowering for them, because instead of managing this self-image so they don't offend anybody, right, you start to be more autonomous and go, I'm going to go to this concert or this ball game, right? I'm going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to hit this bar. You're welcome to join me. And saying this to the girl, right, that you've been trying to win over, and stop trying to win her over. Do your thing and invite her, and then she comes or not. And maybe you meet another girl there, right? Same with the male friends. And what I've noticed when I've done this in my life, especially with male friends in particular, is sometimes those dynamics are so set in place that if you invite your friend Johnny, who, was always running the show, he never will come out when you invite him. If it's just you and him, or maybe you invite some other people and they come, because he feels he's the alpha leader of his group. That happens. Then you have to decide, okay, well, maybe I'll hang out with Johnny a little bit less, or maybe not at all. And the key here is not to get angry. Don't get upset about it. Don't be like, well, that's not right, because guys can take this too far and go the other side and go, I'm not going to be a nice guy. And they almost get like aggressive with it. And you know what? Some of that is a tuning process. It's okay to go through that, but you need to come back to the middle, because it's not very healthy, right? Then you just be kind of this aggressive jerk. F them if they don't want to come along with me. That's not very socially savvy. That's not really the way it works. So you want to work towards doing your own thing, inviting people. You want to be friendly and warm about it. And if they come, awesome. We'd love to have them. If they don't, cool. You'll do your thing anyway, or other people will come, or other relationships will fill in for relationships that maybe you hang out with less often, or that just happen to fall away, or that you decide to, hey, you know what? I don't think I'm down with that. No harm, no foul. I wish them the best. Again, not getting upset about it. And you start doing your own thing and becoming a leader in your life in a different way. And certainly with women, this works very, very well. I remember one time I was at this bar and this married woman was there, and found out that she was married a bit later, and then she was like hitting on me and asked me to come home with her to her basement room, and said my husband never goes out, he's so boring, he just sits there, and if I tell him to stay home, he stays home. I feel bad for that guy. Now, I didn't do anything with her at all, but all kinds of things can happen if you don't address this and take care of these mentalities and these behaviors of the nice guy syndrome. So listen, in wrapping things up here, I really hope this video helped you out. We covered characteristics of the nice guy and nice guy syndrome, what to watch out for, what the dangers are, what they can lead to, the consequences, and some tips to really help you fix this as well in all your relationships, not just your romantic, but of course romantic is really key for most of you that are coming to watch this. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to hear about new videos when they come out. Get notified, and we will see you next one.